Hello, guys. I will start now. So please take a seat. Yeah, I'm with Oasis Protocol Foundation. I'm a solution engineer there, and I will walk you through a workshop about building private and verifiable off-chain apps with ROFL. The small agenda, what we will discuss now, like I will quickly go over like the blockchain trilemma and more, and like why we build stuff, what we build. Make a quick intro about Oasis for the people who didn't hear about us before, or need a quick reminder, and also make a quick refresh on Sapphire, or our EVM chain. Then I will go on to what is ROFL, our ROFL highlights, how you ROFLize your apps. Make a quick demo of that. Also demonstrate the new CLI commands, which are probably the most interesting for people already attending this year other workshops from us. And also will talk then about use cases and advanced feature, what you can build, and maybe give you ideas if you didn't have already one. And then we'll wrap up. You can scan then also our cheat sheet. Have a QR code for that, and yeah, if you have questions, if I'm fast enough, then yes. So quick back, I mean, like the blockchain trilemma everyone knows, with scale, costs, and speed and stuff like that. We still have what we also see still as problems is it's expensive. Sure, we have layer 2s. That's what obviously helps with that. Slow, you still you have now with the newest change, you have millisecond block times, but finality sometimes is also still not there. But also the biggest stuff is still everything is public. So especially if you want to have more privacy on chain, or also on compute and verify that, that's especially what we focus and want to tackle. What is Oasis? A quick recap. We are on a blockchain. We run a small consensus layer, and then we have multiple execution environments. We call them paradigms. The one we focus on mainly at the moment is the Sapphire paradigm, which is a confidential EVM. Additionally, we have verifiable compute also running in TEEs, and I will come to that later. For a quick recap, what you can do in Sapphire, I still want to remind the people, if you really want to use privacy, use the private variables. That's how you can really make things private. If you have the public variables, you have public getters, and everyone can read that. And also reminder, we have precompiled, so you can create random numbers, you can create private keys. You can also use our signing directly precompiled, so you can actually sign Bitcoin transactions. You can generate Bitcoin keys, or also for Substrate or for Solana, we have different signing curves. So you can use that for cross-chain stuff. And yeah, if you want to get know more about our blockchain and features, we have multiple workshops about that. Please go on YouTube and look for Oasis Foundation. We have a lot of workshops about Sapphire. But what I want to talk in this workshop is more about ROFL. We built a lot of stuff for this around this year. ROFL is our Runtime Offchain Logic. Yeah, it's actually, it's funny, but it's actually very confidential, secure, verifiable, because it runs all in the TEs. And it's actually managed also by our Sapphire chain. So you have attestations on there, you have secret management, which is on the blockchain. So you have this private through Sapphire, and also have this redundant. You don't lose that. So you have kind of private storage, because in normal TEs, it's all ephemeral, and if the server goes down, every data goes down. We extended our ROFL stuff since last year. That you can use TDX, and can just deploy a Docker container. That means you can actually use more or less all languages you know to use, and just Dockerize your app. You have to that, obviously, then you can build oracles or like access any API, external API, and have like a verifiable access to this API and push this then on chain or use it in your app. And you don't have to deploy this on the whole nodes from Sapphire. Like, yeah, you can run it on one node, but maybe you actually want to run it on multiple nodes to have it a bit more decentralized. And we manage this all under the hood. At the moment, you probably for the hackathon, you don't need to have like multiple nodes deployed or like have it deployed on multiple nodes. But just like as a reminder, like this is not like you running a single TE. Like with our network, you can at the end like have this decentralized, and like if one node down, another is still up. Like you can have that. And what you can do with that is obviously you can run with that like more intensive jobs. You can even get off-chain data, can build oracles, and like you can actually build games in the TEs, like because you can get direct feedback and can just build like post like the results of a game or something on chain. Yes. How does this look like? Here you can see we have like the consensus layer and the Sapphire. I don't know if you don't see my mouse. So on the top you see like this is actually the Oasis network. That's a blockchain. This is our Sapphire chain. And you have the nodes, like the Oasis nodes, which run in TEs. And they will run actually the Sapphire client, but also they will run then the ROFL apps. And like this, you can actually, for like especially also for Sapphire, you can get off-chain data over the ROFL, over the apps which run in ROFL, and get data on-chain. And like this is really tight coupled, so like you can actually authenticate on-chain if the data came from the right ROFL app. This is very specific for Sapphire. This helps a lot, but you should not be limited only to build with the Sapphire chain. Like with the, as I said, like you can go outside world, means also you can talk to other blockchains. This means like you can, in the simple case, if you trust RPCs, you can just call RPCs in the ROFL TE and make like this cross-chain transactions. Obviously, if you want to go more forward, you would implement some light client directly in ROFL to Bitcoin or Solana or like other chains. As I was saying before, like these apps, like in general, you will Dockerize your apps, but then we will also ROFLize your apps afterwards. So like you push your Docker container, or more or less you actually push a Docker file to your OCIs. So it means like to Docker Hub or like to GitHub, GHCR, and have it publicly available, because like we don't like want that you, when you deploy, like always deploy like your full image. It makes sense that you have like reproducible builds. So it's like if you want to deploy it and later on multiple nodes, like you don't want to push it to every single node. No, you want to have it pushed, available to download, that every node can actually download then your image. But yeah, this is for Docker stuff. For the ROFLization, that actually it can run on our network. You have to register the app, and you will need some on testnet. You need some test tokens for that. On mainnet, you also need ROSE token for that. Like it's around 100 at the moment. Then you have to register the app, which gives you then a ROFL app ID, which is like your ROFL app ID, which is a UID, which doesn't change if you run the app on multiple nodes. Like it's still the same ID. So like this is the part. Then you will build the stuff, which is actually using your Docker Compose file. And then you have to register like the updated build on chain, and then you can deploy. And in the former times, like you had to actually have your own node. Now with our CLI, you can just make a Oasis ROFL deploy, and we have at the moment for the testnet, we have a default provider. Like for the mainnet, we have also a default provider, but in future will open this up also as a marketplace that other providers can give you other offers, because like this at the end like is then like a cloud system, or like or we call it like where you actually get compute power. Like you don't need to run your own TE machine. You can rent the compute of the TEEs, and we try to make it as easy as possible. One part is the CLI, but as we also released this week, we have like ROFL.app for the mainnet, where you can then actually access and even deploy some templates we have accessible there. Then yeah, let's dive in, and I will show you directly like how you would deploy an app on ROFL. So I open up here VS Code, and I have prepared a repo here. In this demo app, I will have a Telegram bot, which is connected to our app in the TEE. And in the TEE, we run also a local LLM. So means like this, you can have a private inference with the TEE, which you run locally, so you don't need to trust OpenAI that they use their data. Which is, for us a big use case. Many people trust OpenAI and Anthropic and stuff with a lot of secrets and like personal details, make therapy about it, over it. And we think this should be more private, and we think like TEEs are a good solution for that, especially when they're then connected with H100s, and you can actually run bigger models with that. At the moment, like, yes, on the testnet and on test provider, we don't have the CPU support. So like, don't expect you can run very big local models. I just here was for the test have the smallest DeepSeek model here running. And as you can see here in the Docker Compose file, like I have Olama service, and then I have kind of the connection Telegram bot with a Telegram API running. Interesting here maybe is that I have also like the token as an environment variable, which is set as a secret. For the Mac users, you should always be careful to use the platform parameter. And like this here, like the volume stuff is actually for the demo I have here not relevant. But if you actually want to use like more advanced feature with ROFL, means like you want to create new private keys, if you want to send transactions which are verifiable on Sapphire, you would actually integrate the volume, because like with that you will have the REST API which we built, and you can see this all features for the REST API in our docs. Yes. And how to start? Like I will just try to show it as live demo, how you would now from scratch deploy this. One obviously still also have to mention. I already pushed the image. I don't know if this would be feasible doing now, like with the internet here, to actually push the image. So I will skip the step of building and pushing the image to my kind of Docker Hub or like the GHCR, and will do just the Oasis stuff. It means I will actually use the Oasis CLI and will init the project. Oh God. So this will then create a ROFL YAML file. You can give it any name you want. What you should look at is actually what machine sizes you actually configure. At the moment, we still have like a very small default size, but like if you want to build bigger stuff, you want to ramp up the memory, and like also like our default provider will support like 2 or 4 gigabyte of RAM. I will also use 2 CPUs, and you also want to up the size of your machine. We will have in the CLI, if you will deploy your app with not the correct size, we actually will have a validation to look like that, at least like the Docker file you want to build then on the node will fit in the size. So like before we had another hackathons, like people put very small ROFL sizes and didn't notice that it was too small. So like we actually have validation now for that. But like I mentioned this already here, that you don't run on deploy only in that, but you already see that then here. So I adapted that. So this is the init. Then the next thing is the create. The create will actually register your app then on-chain. That means like in this moment, you need a 100 test to register this on-chain. And if you actually want to later kind of remove that because you don't want to get always to the faucet or like the faucet is overloaded, you can actually also remove your Oasis deployments and you will get back your 100 tests. So like if you want to restart and want to get another a ROFL app going, like you can get back the 100 test and do it again. So now we see like the app has went through. I got now my ROFL app ID, which also got updated in the ROFL YAML. This will, your ROFL app ID, which we also use like for checking in the smart contract. Then the next thing is you need to build that. If you're on Linux, you can just use the Oasis ROFL. Okay. Yeah. For Mac, you need to use our Docker CLI to actually use the ROFL build. The part is like that there are some libraries we use for ROFL building, which are not directly available on Linux or on Mac, but they are on Linux. So, but yeah, it's just one line command. It's also in the docs, which helps you for building it. This will build the doc.org file. This is like if you have your own node, you can just push this org file then and start the server with this org file in your config. This will be like done like that, or like if you deploy this org file will actually be deployed. This should be done in a second. I should go back here and in the meanwhile do something else. I need a demo. I need a token from Telegram. So I already created a new bot. I can just use this token from Telegram, and I will use this token. Set this as an environment variable. Do Oasis ROFL update with it. And then the last step is deploy. This deploys now to our default provider, the app. And I can maybe do this in the other again. So at the moment, like there's no machine yet because it's not deployed. As soon as it's deployed, I will get a machine here. Okay, that's probably now it's a slow internet. I will then skip that and go quickly back to the slides for the last 2 slides.
The answer is no, because the answer is yes, but probably not.
So as I said, like you should have our Oasis CLI for that. You should have Docker installed for doing that, and you should go to the faucet and get test token. If the faucet doesn't work, come to our booth or tell us in Discord, then we can send you some test tokens. And to the new CLI commands, many people are complaining that they cannot get logs and see if they deployed something. So you can do now with Oasis ROFL machine logs. You get the newest logs. You can also then, if something broke, you can stop or restart the machine. Also, like if the you need some tests to keep the machine running. So if you need to then top up the machine, you can use the command. I think I'm on time limit, so I will just put the documentation that you can scan our cheat sheet. And then it is it.